This tutorial is about my recent discovery, dryer balls. I've heard of them before, but never actually gave them a try, until I read the list of ingredients of the fabric softener that we've been using for years. That was quite enlightening and quite scary. Now that I know what's in there, there is no way I'm using a fabric softener again. But I do like to have my laundry soft and fluffy, so I was looking for healthier alternatives. And dryer balls were highly praised everywhere. So I made a few balls, gave them a try, and they worked like magic. The laundry is soft and fluffy, no lint and no static. And they're super easy to make. In this tutorial, I'll show you how. Here's what we're gonna need for the project. We're gonna need bits and pieces of 100% pure wool. And it's very important to have a pure wool because no other fiber will felt. Cottons, acrylics, wool blends, superwash wool, that won't do. It has to be 100% pure wool. And it's better to have a wool slab like the one I have over here, or roving wool, something that is not really twisted. So that would be the best result. Then we'll need the stocking or a piece of a pantyhose, some cotton ties, that's just pieces of cotton pre-cut, and you can cut your own, obviously. Then we'll need a wool needle, scissors, and we'll also need a ruler. I'll put all these pieces aside for now, and we'll start with wool. You can use up odds and ends of wool, and see I have 3 little bits here, and I'll start with the smallest one because we can wrap them around each other and use up yarn, which is great, right? So here's what we do. Wrap the yarn around your fingers about 10 times, 10, 12, doesn't matter, until you have a bit of yarn over here. Just like that. See, I'm not even counting, so it's all very creative. Take the wraps off your hand and twist them to make a digit 8, like this. And then fold them together to create kind of like a little ball. And that would be the core of our dryer ball. And now we're gonna make a yarn ball around this core. But the key here is not to make the wraps too tight. They should be fairly loose because these balls are gonna be felted, and wool needs room for felting. So if the wraps are too tight, then you won't get such a good result with felting, and you'll have to redo it again. So if you're using little bits and pieces like I do, then here's what you do. When you finish one piece, simply tuck it in under the strand like this so it doesn't fall apart, and then take the next piece and wrap it around this ball. So continue basically making, continue to make the ball like this. And you keep going until the ball is about 9 centimeters has about 9 centimeters in diameter. That's about 3.5 inches. That's why we need a ruler. So if you look at the ball, this one is small, but I'm gonna just show you what I mean. So if you place the ball kind of on the ruler, then you will see that this one is about 6 centimeters. I'm not sure whether you can actually see the number, but that's about 6 centimeters. So that means I still have to do quite a bit of wrapping. And remember, it's very important to make your wraps loose. Don't make them too tight. And make the ball round because that's what the ball is supposed to be, right? So I finished the second piece. And I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna just tuck it under the wraps over here just to keep it from unraveling. And then I take my biggest piece and I'm gonna continue with that one. Okay, I'm almost done with the yarn, and I have a nice ball over here. And I just want to show you that it is quite soft. See, I can squish it and it is quite soft. So it's not really dense, and because I was not making the wraps tight. Okay, so I'm out of yarn, and that means I'm gonna stop here no matter how big it is, but it looks about the right size. So let's take a look. Oh, you know what? I got quite lucky because it seems that it is just about 9 centimeters. That's great. It's all, like I said, it's all creative. So if your ball is slightly bigger, slightly smaller, not really a big deal at all. So just about this size, see, compared to a hand, that's good. Now, if you're using a bigger piece of yarn and you decided to stop, then cut the yarn. I'm not gonna be cutting anything because I just ran out of yarn, which is great. That means I'm using up every centimeter of it. Now take the wool needle, thread the tail into the wool needle, and then insert the wool needle through the ball. So go through the ball somewhere at the side. Doesn't really matter where. The idea is to secure the tail and to hide it. So from this point you could simply trim the tail and just get rid of it, but I'm gonna be frugal and I'm gonna do it once again. So I'm gonna insert the needle again and then thread this little tail into the needle and then pull it through the ball because I want to use up every bit of the wool. If you're not that crazy about being frugal, then you can just trim, like I said, the tail. So here's the ball, and it looks quite nice. And I made 2 more balls because usually they come in sets. So 3 to 6 balls is a good number, and you make as many balls as you like. And once you have all the balls that you need, then it's time to felt them. So first, we're gonna prepare them for felting. So what we do, we take that stocking and we get the balls in there one by one, just like this. And you leave space between the balls. They're not supposed to be squished. And try to keep them more or less round, because this stocking is a bit small. So it would probably be better if you use a wider stocking, but I'll do with what I have. So one ball is in there, so I'm gonna do the same thing for the second ball. And like I said, I'm gonna leave a room between these 2 balls because I don't want them to felt together. So see, I'm leaving a bit of a room over here. And then I'm ready to insert the third ball. At this point, you can just tie the stocking like this every time you insert the ball, but I'm not gonna do that because I plan to reuse this stocking. That's why I'm gonna use cotton ties instead. So time for the third ball, and here we are. So see, my balls are spread, so they are not really squished together, which is awesome. And now I'm taking the ties. You will need 1 for each ball. So I have 3 balls, so I have 3 ties, and that should be okay. And then first we tie the end of the stocking, just with a simple square knot or any other knot that you like, but something that won't unravel during washing. And then we tie the balls, the stocking between the balls to keep them separate, because we don't want to felt them together. We want them to be separate. Just like this, and one more time. And here we go. So our balls are ready to be washed. Now place the stocking with our future dryer balls into the washing machine with a load of towels. Towels or something else that tolerates high temperature. Those towels will provide more friction, and that will help the felting process. Then add detergent. That's very important because felting won't go as nicely without a detergent. Set water temperature to high and start the wash. Once the washing cycle is finished, transfer the stocking with the balls and the towels, of course, transfer them to the dryer. Then choose the normal drying cycle and click start. When the drying cycle is finished, take the stocking with the balls out of the dryer. The first thing you will notice is that the balls became smaller, and that's a good sign. That means they felted well. Let's take a look at them. Take your scissors and carefully cut the ties. Try not to damage the stocking because you can reuse it and make more dryer balls for everyone in your family. Then take the ball out. See, that's how it looks now. It's all nicely felted. Let's get the other 2 balls. cut the tie. Be careful not to damage the stocking. And the last tie. And let's get those balls out of the stocking. Here's the second one. Sometimes they get kind of attached to the stocking, but that's okay. Just carefully pull the stocking and see, like this, and take the ball out. And here you go. We've just made 3 lovely dry balls. Now there is no need to use a fabric softener. Simply wash your laundry with a detergent and then transfer it to the dryer and throw in the dryer balls. They will not just keep your laundry soft and fluffy, but will also save you money that you would otherwise spend on fabric softeners and dryer sheets. To read this tutorial as a set of step-by-step photo instructions, follow the link in the description. To download it as a PDF, join the club or our community on Patreon. Thank you for watching this video and have a wonderful week. I'll see you in the next tutorial.